the next time that you blink, I'm gonna send you back. Now don't be afraid. And just try to enjoy it this time.
I don't usually cry at movies, TV, stories, but Before Your Eyes was something else. I'm going into this with the assumption that you've played the game. If you haven't, I highly recommend going into it blind. I want to talk about the metronome. A quote early in the game that stuck with me was this conversation with your mother.
You know, my father once told me, the only way to fight against time is to create a work of genius, which might live on after you're gone.
I have a feeling that this ideology stuck with her, at least a little bit, considering we learned that she aspires to be a composer.
So I asked him, what about your children? Thinking, I might be a work of genius just as I was. He said, yes, I suppose. If you made a work of genius, I could live on through that as well.
Here she essentially asked the question, is it enough to be yourself? Can you live on without a masterpiece? And her father's answer is simply no, that she's not meaningful enough on her own. This interaction, this conversation sets up a domino effect through Elle's life, toppling into Benny's. And the thing is, she doesn't succeed. She doesn't get her work of genius. She doesn't become a famous composer, and she implies that she's not close with her father anymore. What will he think of Benny? A new hope for a successor? Another candidate to carry on their family legacy?
God, I didn't realize our head of accounting was raising a musical prodigy.
Didn't you used to be a composer yourself, Elle?
No, I don't know if I'd say that.
But you used to write your own music, right?
Yeah, but I haven't done that in years. Not since he was 4 or 5 years old.
As Benny stares at the metronome, I think the pressure starts to sink in. With every tick of the metronome, he starts to feel time passing, as he needs to advance faster, be better, become the child prodigy that his mother hopes for. It's not enough for him to be himself, to live a normal life. He needs to be extraordinary. He needs to achieve something great. And he goes through his life, memory after memory, the weight of becoming some great musician to fulfill what his mother always wanted looms over him. Every moment, every second, he needs to stay on tempo, keep moving forward to his great future career. The constant ticking of the tempo in the back of his mind always brings him back. The ticking interrupts every happy, simple memory, reminding him of what the real focus of his life had to be.
Life can take you to some incredible places if you're really, really good at something.
The metronome continues as he pushes forward, even through failing to get into music school. There is no slowing of pace. It wasn't his true calling anyway. He starts drawing, painting, becoming a greater artist than anyone could have imagined. It's almost fantastical with the cheery music in the background and his eccentric art teacher talking away.
So don't just sit there slack-jawed. Make art, you ponies! Oh.
And then his mother gets sick.
Now, you'll hear from the person who I believe is the single thing in the world my wife is most proud of. Her magnum opus, so to speak. Benny, you ready to come up here?
And then what I think is genius is that during his mother's funeral, the metronome appears in the air, reminding Benny that he is his mother's magnum opus, as his father called him, that he must carry on her passion for art, that he needs to create something, be something that outlasts his life. It reminds him that his mother died before she could make a name for herself in art, that he is her only chance at fulfilling the criteria her father said before. Quote, I suppose if you made a work of genius, I could live on through that as well. And he does, or at least we think he does.
Created a masterpiece.
that work of true genius.
It's unbelievable, Benny.
He's flipped the discourse so thoroughly, I'm actually dizzy.
Stop. Is that Benjamin Brink? Oh my god.
I just can't believe I was living next to a bona fide genius.
I think it's interesting that even in his imagination, in this perfect version of his life, his mother still passes away from sickness. It's like his consciousness is bringing in a tinge of reality. Like his mind still finds a way to bring his mom's looming pressure into his ideal world.
You're a flea-bitten sap, you know that? You're ashamed of something. Something so terrible, you're trying to blink right past it. And the gatekeeper, she'll see right through your fake lies as if they were glass. So I'm gonna ask you again to start from the very beginning.
Then he realized this was all a story. That Benny did not become a famous painter, that he was sick. That he was left to fantasize about what could have been.
Benny! Benny! Ben! Oh God, can you hear me? Richard! Richard, get up!
What's going on?
I think he's unconscious. Call the paramedics now!
Okay, I'm doing it. Keep playing, B. She's listening.
As the sickness overwhelms him, the metronome slows. His grand plan of becoming a famous artist slowly fades away. He is running out of time to accomplish what he was supposed to.
It's okay, Benny, I understand. There's no need to show me anymore.
No, Richard, it's like I can't breathe. Like there's this clamp on my chest.
I know. It's okay.
You can come back to me now.
And then the scene that actually broke my heart. His mom, the one that started all of this, the one who planted doubt and pressure into his mind, starts to read. The metronome is so slow now it barely interrupts the words. Benjamin's doubts slow their pace, and his mom is there, rewriting the answer to the question posed at the beginning of the game. Is it enough to be yourself? Can you live on without a masterpiece? She answers this lingering question with yes. She tells him of the Benny she knows, unlike his fantasy. She tells him that he's everything he needed to be. Through his small acts of kindness, through him existing as her son, he will live on. The metronome ticks again, for the last time. But this time the tempo is telling him to move forward, not to become something greater, but to become at peace with who he is now. And with that, the metronome stops. His life is over. It was simple, it was short, but it was meaningful. And it was beautiful. With most stories, the simple, quieter moments are what build up to the dramatic finish. But I think Before Your Eyes does the opposite. The dramatic, heartbreaking ending elevates the simple story of a boy's life. And on a meta level, as a player, we have already subscribed to the idea that Benny's life is enough. When we open the game, all we know is that this is a story of growing up. So many people have been enticed by that idea, and when you're playing the game, you're enjoying the first half. It's beautiful to see this kid grow up, to see all his memories, to experience a coming of age. So when Benny finally realizes that he is enough, we as the player have already agreed. I think that makes it hit even harder. On a personal level, I can deeply relate to the feeling of pressure to be successful. There is always something looming over me, telling me that I need to be something great. But this game reminded me that our small impacts on the world around us, the people around us, give our lives purpose. That life, no matter how simple or short it may be, has meaning and impact. That you are enough, just by existing. This game is short and simple, but it's left a lasting mark on me I won't forget. There was so much more I could talk about. Like, throughout this entire thing, I didn't even mention the eye tracking mechanic, which is crazy. That could definitely be a separate video. Anyway, that's it for me. Stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye.